Boniface, sweetie. Is that you? Ah, old age does terrible things to one's sight. I didn't recognize you at first.
How are you, Mum? I'm ashamed to admit that I've lost my key. Do you have a spare?
For heaven's sake! How many times will you lose that key of yours? Of course I have a spare. You artists all live in your own little world.
Please, accept my thanks.
I would rather accept your rent. You promised to pay me several weeks ago, and I'm still waiting.
I will pay you, I promise, very soon.
You'd better do, my dear. Or else I'll just change the lock. And I won't fall for those cow eyes.
Oh. Okay.
The chest has been searched. Aunt May whiskey, brandy bucks. Quite a collection he had here. I wonder where he got that fancy camera. Despite the overall tendency towards mess, you cannot sit with the drawer pulled out like this. Someone left it after searching. It appears the wine was truly awful. Red skin, tails on the back, reminds me of Werder's description of the stolen painting. The photograph was not pulled out in time. Such a waste of material. Look at this, John. Isn't it our stolen demon?
Don't look at me like that, Sherry. I will not touch that dirty floor.
The wound is precise. It was inflicted by a razor or a knife. Soaked in blood. It seems as if the puddle of blood was here before the rags. Judging by post-mortem rigidity, the body lay here for 1 or 2 days. Could be the murder weapon. A normal kitchen knife.
Anything else? Am I missing something? Well, yeah. Love did this, did that.
The blood has dried.
I've heard of this style of painting. It is called expressionism.
Well, his clothes is not blue, so I think yeah, it was the other way around.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Mercurio was developing photographs when the intruder snuck in. Mercurio heard him coming. While the thief was searching the chest, the painter ran towards him with a bottle in his hand. He smashed it across the thief's head. The intruder had no choice but to defend himself, and the weapon of opportunity happened to be a kitchen knife. Mercurio stepped aside to grab the painting, but the wine-blinded thief attacked Mercurio's throat. When the thief came to his senses, he saw Mercurio bleeding on the floor. He grabbed the rags and tried to bandage him, but it was too late. Why did Mercurio attempt to snatch the painting in the middle of a fight? To strike the intruder? Not with his painting, it was too important to him.
So now, painting covered in blood lay on the floor. The other room contained Mercurio's photographic studio, where we found a ruined photograph inside a developer. And this is... why did Mercurio want to grab the painting in the middle of a fight? Like, it's of two locations. So we gotta inspect this a bit closer.
The photograph was not pulled out in time. Such a waste of material. Look at this, John. Isn't it our stolen demon? It's time for some chemical magic, John.
Oh. Love it. Oh god, what is this? I managed to erase the blood by using chemicals. It's still alive. It's a still life painting of Mercurio's room. Mercurio. I found it
hard. Doesn't
hard.
look like the painting we need, Sherry.
As expected, but that doesn't mean it won't tell us anything. Let's put it on the easel where it belongs. I guess this is his most ordinary painting. Spot the two differences, John?
Oh, the head.
Monster was actually a man. Poor girl. John, you ought to be thrilled. We are now hunting the devil himself.
What were you saying, Sherry? I was too busy sketching the scene, you know, crimes and such like, daily routine. Did you find something?
A photograph. It depicts a man in a red suit with tails sprouting from his back and multiple people in masks watching the scene. It all adds up. But the act of love, it wasn't given willingly, John. It was a violation. And the girl, she was with child.
Give that to me now. Did you recognize someone?
No. Although the victim is not from Cordona, she is African. Look at the ritual scars on her face.
Get that image out of your brain. You have to continue the investigation.
I must speak to the landlady. Perhaps she saw or heard something.
Sherry, you cannot tell her the truth about Mercurio. It will hurt her.
John, that's illogical. Sooner or later, she will come here and discover a corpse, and I still need to talk to her.
Just avoid mentioning corpse, all right? Stick to the character, tell her to call the police.
I'll take that into account.
And wait here. I've redrawn the people in the photograph. Now you can proceed with your investigation without those horrific details. You always take me to the best of places, Sherry.
Red skin, tails on the back, reminds me of Verda's description of the stolen painting.
So, oh. So I can pin that and talk to the lady, I guess. So we were done here, right? With the mind palace. Oh, right, I forgot that. Elisa didn't want to kill Mercury because Mercurius' murder wasn't the thief's goal. Visitor might have wanted the photo. Visitor's intention might have been to locate the terrible photograph.
What's wrong, dear? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Can you tell me if anyone else has recently entered the flat?
Oh, you're talking about that limping man. I'm sorry I let him in. I was scared. And I thought maybe he would motivate you to find money so that you would pay your rent. No offense, dear.
Can you describe him?
Oh, so you weren't at home. I was so certain you didn't leave your flat that day. He was of average height, had a limp and a tattoo on his neck, and he was smoking Malpal cigarettes. My husband used to smoke those. They have a horrible smell I can recognize from a mile away.
Can I ask a favor?
Of course, dearie.
Please call the police and ask them to enter the flat, and don't look inside until they come up.
What? What trouble have you stepped in this time?
It really doesn't matter. Thank you, Mum.
You're acting so strange today, dear. I hope someday you'll let me inside that head of yours.
Phew, Sherry, that was close. But you did everything correctly. Now, take off your outfit. I can't let you walk around in a dead man's clothes. Poor chap.
Yeah, well, I should probably also change my face back to normal, right? So casebook. Yeah, we can talk to people about it. The gallery thief was in Mercurio's flat. Mercurio's murderer and the gallery thief are the same person. The limping man. The thief wanted the photograph. No, okay. Not sure who to ask.
Help me, please.
I don't want my friends to see me talking to a spoiled money bag.
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah.
Could you help me?
Now?
You're a funny little street rat, sniffing for information. But you won't get any cheese from me.
Everyone's looking at us, Sherry. You should know.
Could you help me?
Sorry, I have no time for your problems.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Oh, I know about that. Let me tell you.
The scars on the girl's face seem to be from Eve's ethnic group tribe. The only place where you can find Eve's people in Cordona is the refugee camp located under Victoria Bridge between Scaladio and Silverton. Scaladio and Silverton under the bridge. Yeah, okay, cool. Which way? Well,
Are you able to help me?
sorry.
You had better take a bath before talking to a lady.
May I ask you something?
Sorry, mister. Can't help you. Ask someone else.
Oh, I am bored. Call me when you find the answer.
Did you hear? Another sailor's drowned on the beach.
Find out where the sailor drowned. What? Yeah, usually it works. I'm just like clicking it
Did
through, you
hear?
know.
Another sailor.
I don't even try to read.
Ah, did you catch that, Sherry? I didn't. Better listen more closely.
Yeah, come
Did
on.
you hear? Another sailor.
A sailor was found drowned on the beach by the cemetery. People are talking about sirens, but that's just superstition, or is it? New location, drowned sailor. Okay, interesting. New case. Oh, that's the camp. Well, I need to go down there. So you just can get a case by...
Does this poster truly claim that Cordona has a ghost?
The ghost hunter, what? So many cases. The ghost hunter. Strange placard in Silverton that mentioned a ghost. Where? Where did you notice this? Oh, there's one.
Unholy howls keeping you inside at night? Luigi can help. All ghosts gone. Meet on southern pier of the Silverton port. Donations gratefully accepted. This town loves the supernatural, but all I see is another scam to disprove.
The world shrivels under a skeptic's eye. That's why you're so sullen, Sherry. You leave no room for delight in the magical.
I delight in making the unknown known. Let us begin by asking someone about the poster and then pay this Luigi a visit at the port.
Okay, well, it's just if it's just asking. Yeah, sure not. Someone like you.
Excuse me, just one question.
You're a funny little street rat sniffing for information, but you won't get any cheese from me.
Okay. Can talk to him.
May I ask you something?
Why don't you go and find an honest job?
Oh, I am bored.
Do you know
Call me
anything
when you
about
find the
this?
answer.
Oh, I know about that. Let me tell you.
Locals speak of a strange, inhuman howl that is terrorizing Silverton. The screech only occurs in the evening, seeming to come from everywhere at once, and especially harrowing on foggy nights. Those who live near the port say they also saw flickering lights of unearthly colors floating above the water. Some residents are frightened so they will not leave their homes after sunset. Others even barricade their windows and doors. And if that could prevent a ghost from entering.
Someone is playing on people's ignorance and fear.
Or someone is bravely going toe-to-toe with an otherworldly evil to protect the innocent. You're the hero people deserve, but he's the one they need.
Okay, so we've just covered like 2 new cases, but we're gonna stick with that one. And I think I have to go on the other side. Damn it. Oh, how do I go down there? I think I saw stairs or something. Here, yes. I think that's the right.
Beasts!
Beasts? Okay. The only thing that I'm like
Murderers!
this clothes on, so I mean it's my normal clothes. People still, if I wanna question people, they don't talk to me because I'm too fancy.
Sir, this place is off limits to the public. Please state your business or leave, or I shall request that the police escort you out.
Why am I doing this exactly? I'm a private investigator.
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm a private investigator. I'm looking for a witness for a case.
A private investigator? Really? Even so, you're not authorized. I can't let you in.
And you are?
I'm Ronald Harlow, here to handle the refugee situation on behalf of City Hall. I'm the acting supervisor here, so I have full authority here to ask you to leave, or I shall order the police to detain you for trying to pass the blockade. Please, step back.
Pale bags under eyes. Works indoors. Pull lightning. Slight mustache. Tries to appear older. Wants to look authoritative, overdressed. Oh yeah, so many layers. Damp palms, sweaty and stressed. Sedentary, clean shoes. Ronald House depressed, young cleric exhausted by his day-to-day job. City Hall was assigned him to oversee the refugee camp, but he's too tired and indifferent to solve the problem that arise. Tired pen pusher. Taste formulas. cramped office which he barely leaves, yet judging by his clean and barely worn shoes, he doesn't not favor outdoors in any case. Yeah.
What about the murder that this crowd keeps shouting about?
It's mere assumption. I assure you that the situation is under the police's control.
I know you want to deal with this in the right way. You are obviously a professional and a responsible person, but you clearly have never handled a situation like this before.
I am handling it, Mr. Holmes. Don't question my capability here.
And tell me how you do it. You can't even calm this gathered crowd, and as for the police, they're not quite managing it either, are they? You consider yourself a problem solver, but until today, you've been solving problems sitting at your desk in a dark corner of a city hall room. Here, you need a more practical approach.
What are you driving at, Mr. Holmes?
I can help you to handle the situation if you're truly interested in solving things quickly and quietly.
And how exactly would you manage that?
Simply tell the police that I'm with City Hall and I'm permitted to investigate the scene. I'll work out the rest, but in return I need your help finding my witness. She's a young refugee. She's with child or was with child recently.
Look, there is indeed a dead body inside the camp. So even if the girl you are looking for is there, all the refugees are now being detained and interrogated by the police. They won't allow you to speak with her, and I can't do anything about that until the situation settles down.
So it's in our mutual interest to settle it.
Oh. I suppose that things are bad enough that I ought not shy away from help. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell the police to allow you to come inside. Just tell me when you're ready.
Mr. Harlow, how did the refugees end up here exactly?
Oh, so you're not from around here yourself?
I've been away for some time, but I read the papers.
Yes, this whole story has been in the papers for almost a year now. They were smuggled to Cordona on a ship from Africa.
Smuggled? Then why didn't you deport them?
The smugglers managed to sneak them to shore and hide them inside an abandoned warehouse. When the police raided the warehouse and found the refugees there, the ship was already gone. We aren't even certain as to which ship it was. We have busy shipping routes with other colonies these days, you see.
So you decided to lock them up under a bridge?
There was no other option. We're still trying to work out what to do with them. I only hope we'll find a humane solution and not put them on a raft and float them out to sea.
Mr. Harlow, what exactly do you do here? What are your responsibilities?
What I do and what I am responsible for are two different realities, Mr. Holmes. On paper, I am in charge of the camp territory, security, provision, and the refugees in general. What I actually do most of the time is knock on every City Hall door trying to obtain some funding, or at least rations for the camp.
Are the police here on City Hall's behalf too?
They are, minus those who came here after the body was found. The governor won't let the refugees disperse into the island, so there's a significant police presence guarding the camp. Naturally, they answer directly to the police. I have some influence here, but I'm not their direct authority.
I'm ready to take a look at the scene.
All right. Go inside the camp and find Inspector Tewkesbury. He's the officer investigating the scene. Tell him I sent you. Say you're an independent expert from City Hall. He'll fill in the details for you.
I'll find my way with words. Thank you, Mr. Harlow.
Murder! Beasts!
I hope I'm not making a grave mistake in trusting you, Mr. Holmes.
Who isn't allowed to visit the crime scene these days?
So they keep these refugees under a bridge like proverbial trolls. No wonder the people outside are so disturbed.
Oh, they have chickens here. People sleeping here? Oh god. Hello.
Who the hell are you? How did you get in here?
Mr. Ronald Harlow let me in, sir. I'm Sherlock Holmes, a surveyor of refugee affairs with City Hall. You're Inspector Tewkesbury, I presume?
A surveyor? What does that even mean?
In short, I've been sent to conduct an extensive report on the incident for the Colonial Office and to assess all the damage inflicted on state property.
Got it. Another paperworm sent to count money and get food for archive mold. Go on, look around, but don't make yourself too at home. As if I didn't have enough problems before you appeared.
Could you first tell me what happened here?
What happened? People from the bridge above the camp heard a woman screaming and saw a mass of refugees attacking a man. Clearly not a refugee. When the camp guards came by, the man was floating in the sewage canal with a knife in his chest. Bam. A murder. Big news for Cordona.
I'm sure. Thank you, Inspector. And none of the refugees were harmed?
One fellow was cut. He's lying over there near their kitchen. He's in a bad way.
You mentioned a woman screaming who attracted the bypassers on the bridge. Was she harmed?
No, she's all right, but perhaps the whole debacle started because of her. She started wailing and the refugees stood up for the girl.
And where is this young woman now?
Back there in the shacks, same as the rest of the refugees. She's been questioned by my men, but she's just some refugee girl. Can't understand much English.
Do you have any suspects yet?
You're joking, right? I've got a whole camp full of suspects. And if you ask me, this bloke had it coming. Better bury him and forget about the whole thing. And now there's a crowd gathered at the camp, and my superiors say we must thoroughly interrogate the refugees. At least those who can understand any English.
Do you believe that your superiors wish to get rid of the refugees?
I think that both our superiors would rather keep the story quiet. Since that's an unaffordable luxury now, they're looking how to protect their public image. That's why I have to waste my time waiting for my people to turn every stone and befriend every refugee.
Did you learn anything about the dead man?
The fellow looks like a thug. I've had dozens like him fished out of the sea over the past 20 years. Ever since these refugees arrived, there have been people on Cordona with bad blood in them. My best bet is that this thug had something against them too.
And no clue as to his identity?
He had some items on his body, but nothing to indicate who he was or where he was from.
I think I should catalogue his possessions in my records.
Go on. They're on the table near the body. I'm busy. Don't you have papers to
Here
fill?
we go again. Number of hours on Cordona before stumbling upon another dead body. 0.
Clearly a left handprint here. A furrow in the ground. A blood trail leading to or from the canal. Someone bled profusely here. A fresh crack, as if the crate was hit recently. Police boots, always happy to trample evidence. A man's footprint. A heavy boot with a worn-out sole.
These events have fractured into so many pieces. But I know you can collect them all, Sherlock.
Malpal, soaked with salt water. £1,000. A fair sum, especially considering British currency isn't very common in Cordona. A simple leather sheath. Perfect for a dirk. A steel dirk, sharp, a common accessory among sailors and soldiers. An interesting tattoo. Does it mean something? I'd say the blade penetrated upward, however the wound is too messy to be certain. Heavy boots, with one sole far more worn than the other. This man was limping John. Coal dust under the nails. I don't see much coal around here. A violent death. This man, limping. Coal dust. I think we're onto something here, John.
Such a mess.
If they find
Let's
out
figure
about
it
the
out.
passage, everything will go to... If they find out about the...
I was being very stealthy, Sherlock, and you threw it all away. Come on, pull yourself together.
If they find out about the...
Police officers are worried that the situation with the dead body will put the camp into strict lockdown and they will lose money flow they were earning from their sheep.
Nobody will know anything if you keep your bloody mouth shut.
The coppers smell fishy here, Sherry. Perhaps we should sniff around in the camp a little more thoroughly. Sherry, just look at this. Living quarters in a sewer. What kind of a genius bureaucrat came up with this idea? We have seen some dark places in Cordona, but this...
Oh, carnelian agate beads, a traditional African adornment. The blood sprayed off the blade after the strike. No hint of blood or impact. It might have been used as an improvised weapon. The cut is deep, potentially serious if not treated immediately.
Good that he's just lying here and no one gives a damn.
He is in shock, feverish and dehydrated.
Sherry, you know first aid. Surely you have a duty to help this man. You can't leave him to certain death.
Yeah,
I think we can find all we need here in the camp. Let's have a good look around.
yeah, like, let's do what?